Okay, so I'm back again, and I'm on page 223, and I mentioned that I think you should try to graph these things on GeoGebra, and I wanted to make sure that you knew how, because you're kind of a little out there on your own right now. So what I'm going to do is go through it. So optional video again. I think it's a really good idea to watch, but it's up to you. So I'm going to click here on GeoGebra Classic. So I'm at geogebra.org, clicking GeoGebra Classic. I'm going to choose 3D graphics. And what I want to do, so I'm looking, I already took the notes on 223, so I'm actually looking at the notes that I took while making the video. I want to, so I could do, so I'm going to do curve because that's how you get a parametric equation, a curve in this case. So curve 2 cosine of t, 2 sine of t, comma, negative 2, t, 0 to 2 pi. And you can see we get like our little circle there. And then I'm going to, so I could just keep doing it. And one option is if I click this, I just click that so that I can reach these dots. And then here I'm going to duplicate. And then I'm going to click inside and I'm going to make it 1, 1, and then negative 1. And I could duplicate it again. This is getting kind of tedious. I'm going to do this. This is a weird thing. I'm going to do 0. Like, why would you do this? 0 and 0, right? So this is actually just going to be a point. It's going to be the origin, which it may not even, you can like sort of maybe see something there. And then I could duplicate it again. I could keep duplicating it, but this is like probably not the best way to do this. So what I'm going to do instead is I am going to make a sequence. So let me make this a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm typing. So I'm going to do sequence. So as you see what I do, see if you can work out why I'm doing it. So I'm going to use R as like, oh, sorry, no, I'm not doing that at all. I'm going to do a sequence of curves. So curve, and then I'm going to type in the thing. So it's going to be R times cosine of t, comma, R times sine of t, comma, R, because that's like the height that I want it to be at, comma, t is actually the parameter. I want to go from 0 to 2 pi. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it what R should do. So I'm outside of the curve. I got outside of that parenthesis. Say R. R should go from negative 2 to 2. And you can see it fills in a sequence. But the nice thing, so I'm going to hit enter. The nice thing about this is, I mean, it did it all in one shot. So that's obviously nice. I don't need to go by 1. I could count by, so there's an optional argument here. So at the very end, I could do 0.5 and hit enter. And now it goes by 0.5s. You can, I mean, it's up to you. You go 0.1 and you can definitely see, look at all those plane slices. So these are called traces. And if you stack up all the traces, you can see this is definitely making a cone. Also, I mean, you don't need to go negative 2 to 2. You could like have some variety. So I'm going to have to do something to fix this. Sequences do a weird thing to the window. The way that you fix it is you go grab the edge, drag it over to the left, and then drag it back to the right. And then usually, uh-oh, I go too far. What is happening? Okay, whew. I don't know, it's bouncing all over the place. But we can see it, and that's what we wanted. All right, so now the challenge would be, can you do that for the other things, right? So in part B, the traces were parallel to the YZ plane, so there are a bunch of hyperbolas, and then parallel to the XZ plane, it was another bunch of hyperbolas. I think if you follow the same pattern, you'll be able to do that. So I'm going to leave that up to you to give it a shot. And all right, I hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.